Hey, everybody. Welcome back to FunnySad with your host, Travis Nelson. And
Vanessa Don, we're back, guys.
that's
And
right, we're
today,
back.
who do we got today? We got another special guest. Who is it, Travis?
No, I'm going to make you say it. Don't try to pimp me like that.
All right, we'll let her introduce herself. And
What? No, don't do that. You got to introduce the guest.
Should I redo that? Nah. Good
Well,
enough.
you should introduce the guest.
It's Diana Home, guys. The amazing, the beautiful, out of LA, super funny. We have the illustrious guest, Diana Home.
Thank you. I love the intro. It's definitely better
Isn't
than
that
anything
great?
I was gonna do.
We've done like 60 episodes and it's the biggest like wreck piece of shit you've ever seen. We have no idea what we're doing. Who does what? What do we, how do we? I do usually introduce the guests. I felt like putting it on Vanessa this time. I thought it'd be funny if I just forced her to do it since she so clearly wanted me to do it.
I felt like the first draft was a little rough, but I think I got it in the end.
Yeah. By the way, no editing. I'm not going to do any editing of that. That's the whole thing.
I'm going to make this a clip then.
You have to. So the way FunnySad works is me and Vanessa, we look at comedians' Twitters and we pick out tweets of theirs that we like or think are interesting, and then we bring them up and riff upon them virtually over Zoom now. So I think usually Vanessa, you do the first tweet.
Yep, traditionally.
Yeah, we are switching things up now. You know, we're getting postmodern with it. We have to.
I'll go first still. I always thought bathroom attendants were fancy. Then I saw one check the stall immediately after the person walked out when they were still within the vicinity before letting me go in. Turns out they're just snitches to make sure you're not nasty.
I feel like I should read my tweets out loud more often because that was so cringy.
No one remembers.
Right. But let's get back to the tweet because I don't understand. So that it was people working in the restroom whose job was to check and make sure you didn't leave a messy shit and then not like flush or piss all over the seat or whatever. Like they're there to check you, and if you don't handle your etiquette properly, they're gonna grab you and be like, "Hey, you made a mess."
That was my biggest. I forgot where we were. It was definitely someplace like out of place. Like I've never been to anything like that before because I've never.
Could you give us like an idea of the type of place that was?
I think.
Yeah, where were you?
I want to say it might have been like my girlfriend worked at the company that did the Love Boat, the Real Love Boat.
Okay.
The production company for that, and so they had a premiere party for that, and so it was like kind of fancy. There's bathroom.
There was like a Love Boat reboot recently, you're saying?
Yeah, that one. So like,
not that you guys are just like eternal and worked on the original.
That's how she comes out as a vampire.
Yeah, it's like, damn, you sat on that tweet for a long time.
I'm just waiting for my time. So there was bathroom attendants, and I always thought like bathroom attendants were just like, they handed you like towels. Like I only seen them on TV really. And then so I was next in line, and I didn't see her do this with anyone else, but like when the person exited the bathroom, I was about to like go in the stall. She stopped me and checked the stall before she let me in. But she didn't do that with anyone else. It was just like that one person, I guess. And so that's what inspired that, because I was like, that was like my biggest fear. I didn't realize that was a fear until I saw that happen, like someone going into the bathroom after me and then being like judgy. I don't know, it's like taking
right, and her being like
yeah, like it was kind of just like
I have like what I think that was, what I wish that was, and what I would be terrified that was. So I think what I think that was it may have been less about like sloppy, messy shits and more of like her just making sure no one forgot like valuables behind or something like that. That makes sense to me, or at least that's how they could kind of couch it, not to be like, hey, don't shit on the floor. And I wish that in reality, if someone did make like a potty mess in there, I think it would be amazing if that person's job was to like as like an enforcer to grab them and like hand them a mop and be like, nah, you're gross, you clean this. But realistically, that's someone who's being hired to like check for valuables, and or if there is a problem, that's their problem. That's the worst thing
Yeah.
that's happened to them that week. You know what I mean? Which that's kind of a bummer. I always hate, like, I was doing gigs not this last weekend, but the weekend before, and a lady like threw up on a table and barfed in the bathroom, and a couple of the servers were like not crying, but definitely like hugging each other and being like, we'll get through this. And I was like, that sucks so much.
That is so bad.
Yeah.
Ugh. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only time I ever encountered a bathroom attendant was like at a club in New York, and they were definitely there to make sure people weren't doing drugs, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I
Oh.
see.
Do you
I
think
see.
did anyone? I feel like they don't get paid enough to like call people out doing drugs because I'd be scared to interact with people doing drugs in the bathroom.
No, but
No,
they're
they would
getting
just
like,
call security. That's all.
Yeah.
And then
that
security
makes
would be like,
sense.
knock, knock, get out of there.
Yeah.
There's 3 of you in there. We know what you're
For
doing.
real.
yeah, that's what that is. Okay, I have a tweet of yours, Diana.
Okay.
Being lesbian cat moms means clarifying what we mean by sorry we were late. We had to play with our cats.
I'm so embarrassed.
So I would like you to pretend that me and Vanessa are just AI robots where we understand words and phrases and sentences, but we don't get any kind of like context. We need to have context explained to us. Could you please at length explain this joke to us in a way that we as AI robots would understand?
I honestly, I'm trying to figure out like how I understand it. Okay, so cats.
I love putting you in this position, by the way. This is hilarious to me.
Okay, in my defense, what had happened was I like came up with this thing where I'm like, I'm gonna write 5 jokes a day. They don't have to be good. And then I was going on this Twitter thing, and I was like, okay, let me just pull from my joke book just because I need content and not anything bad. I didn't realize I get caught with this. Okay, so cats are
Busted.
Yeah, right. I guess so. Pussy cats are the full name, the scientific name of a cat.
Okay.
And then pussy is also another euphemism for vagina. So
You don't
can
say.
just say cats are a euphemism for vagina. So and lesbians are known for having cats. So it's a play on that, and we also have
And probably vaginas too as well.
Yes, there's also 2 vaginas in the
think
house.
Okay, yeah.
So there's four, I guess. But we were late one day, and because we literally had to play with the cats, and then I was like, oh, can also be a stupid stuff.
Oh man,
cats, you're on their schedule. You are not on your schedule. That's the thing about having cats. Like if they want to play or they want to sleep, like that's what you're doing.
Yeah. See, I feel like I
Nice.
would have been the worst at the Spanish Inquisition because this is the type of torture I would do.
No, this is pretty bad though. What secrets do you want to know? Just
Fair enough. No, come on, everybody's. We all got a couple puss jokes up there on Twitter. We're not proud
right.
of.
And also, I'm not, like, you guys have seen my. I'm not really that dirty. Like I don't really go that far.
Oh,
so I was
me
like,
neither. I have a dry bar special, but on online, if I'm making online content, I enjoy being as filthy as possible. Yeah.
All right, so this next one is kind of funny and kind of sad because this show is called FunnySad. So here it comes. The ER waiting room has the news on because we don't have enough to worry about. Hashtag guess things could be worse.
Oh my god! Wow, you went in the archives. I don't even remember that one.
Oh, I'm known for going in the archives.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you see Vanessa like liking tweets of yours from like 3 or 4 years ago, that's when you know you're in trouble.
Yeah. See, I used to do that, but that was tipping people off. So now I just screenshot.
Oh, you're like stealth doing it now. So you don't even give them the benefit of the like. You just go through and find what the trash.
No.
I get it.
Vanessa can cancel us all, I bet.
I just like the idea of like a guy in the ER with like a nail sticking out of his head, and he's like holding like a bloody towel to the nail and just watching the news. Like, God damn, what are we gonna do about the deficit? You know what I mean? I think that's
If I remember correctly, my dad was dying at the or we thought he was dying, and then the news was happening. So it really was that moment of just being like, wow, I guess things can't be worse.
Yeah. Yeah, but damn, what a time to be like, I
Right.
guess it's just my dad, not a whole town.
Right.
Yeah.
That it's all about perspective, I guess. But
Right?
yeah, it is kind of you think I mean, what would you play in an ER waiting room? I guess that would be okay. Just like constant weather. I
I
feel
mean, it's
like
tough because everyone's
That's sad
different, you
too.
know. The weather is
Yeah.
sad.
that's true.
It can be. It can be. Like it'll be the day there's a hurricane or a tornado or a flood or some
Right,
butt
you're
suck.
right. You're right. There could be some natural disasters going on the Weather Channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it for me, I would want comedy being played, but then that would never go over. Because everyone would be like
No.
not in the mood for comedy, but then it's like, what are people even in the mood for? I don't think there's a right answer. I don't think
Maybe like the
maybe
cooking channel.
yeah, maybe, or like sometimes you go to those bars where all the TVs are tuned to like some weird like TikTok like Vine. It's like a bunch of different vines, and it just like goes through them like all ADHD, and it's just random like just stimulation. I think maybe that would be great for a hospital. I think I would feel really badly about our society if I walked into an ER and like people just watching like monkeys suck each other off or whatever, but at least it would keep people in the moment, like entertained and distracted of like, oh, wow, fuck, that guy fell off a bridge. Look at that. And then, oh, now there's a dog chasing a cat. You know what I mean? Or otherwise, people could just be on their phones. I don't know why we need to have TVs in ER rooms. Actually, that seems like it's bound to fail.
I think people have like the last time I went to the hospital, everyone was on their phone, but like I feel like that's also like a Black Mirror episode to go into the ER and just see vines, like people just watching vines in the ER. I feel like I mean people are doing that on their phones, I'm sure, but yep, that was definitely. I'm glad you guys saw the funny in that because I was like that is very sad. I also like I feel like my comedy is more sad, so that seems more on brand.
Yeah. Your comedy is whatever you need it to be at that time, You
That's
don't put yourself in a box. That's that LA talk. You can be a complex human being with sad jokes.
As long as people laugh, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Or awe.
Yeah, that's true.
No, that's the worst.
It is.
All right. I got a tweet. You said after falling down the stairs, I realized the reason they're called stairs is because you're supposed to stare at each one so you don't fall. Jesus Christ, how stoned were you when you wrote this?
I mean, stoned enough to fall down the stairs.
Yeah.
Like, this is like 6 stairs. I don't know how I felt. Yeah, but that's so stoned. And I thought, not gonna lie, I was so proud of myself because I went through this. I love puns. I'm terrible at puns, and I thought I was like, oh my god, I kind of wrote a pun.
Yeah, I'm also a pun guy. Unfortunately, like I know people hate them, but boy, is there just something deep inside of my psyche that's like, can you make a pun out of this somehow? You better.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Also, did you know a lot of houses? So where I grew up, there's like a lot of older houses. Kind of a common thing for a while when you're building houses and you're doing stairs to make a trick stair. Have you heard about this?
No.
It's like one stair is like a different height or level than the rest of the stairs. So anyone living there will be used to the stair like that. But if I guess the idea was like if somebody broke in or something, they wouldn't be used to the trick stair. I'm not recalling the logic of the trick stair. I just remember so many places would have like one stair and you'd be like running up and you like fall and hit your face and you're just like, what happened? And then you're like, oh yeah, just one of these stairs is like a different level. So if you're not careful, you fall.
I totally thought it was like I pictured a carpenter or like someone building the stairs just being like, I'm gonna get them. Like, just like trying to prank them. But when you say things, it's like way more logical. Like, that makes a lot of sense.
I do try to like intellectualize things too much, but I really like your idea of just like a carpenter that's like, secretly I hate stairs and I hate people who use them. So my whole life is wrapped around making one stair difficult to get up to so people fall and hurt themselves. It's a very fun view of the world.
Yeah, see, my first thought was kind of the same. Like one of the stairs is just gonna be like hollow, and like the first person that steps on it just falls through a little bit.
I like the hollow though. Like, what if there was stuff stashed in? What if it was like you fall down and that sucks, but then also secret treasures like that?
Yeah,
makes it
I
more
was
fun.
Like a pinata.
Stair pinata.
I'm assuming you mean like as if like how pinata has secret treasures inside of it, and not like you
Yeah.
open up the stair and there's a pinata in the stair.
Yeah, that's the first one.
Okay,
Like
yeah,
the
well.
treasures inside. Like you
Just
break
wanted to make
it
sure,
to get to the
because otherwise
goods,
that's like
you know?
that's like a turducken of a surprise, you know. Like you get the surprise of the pinata, and then you break open the pinata, and you're like, oh fuck, there's rats in there. That's terrifying.
Oh, that'd be the worst.
I mean, come on, it's been there for like 100 years. What's going to be in that pinata?
True, true. See, I was thinking it would be like fresh, you know, like let me build you this house, but haha, tricked you.
Oh, the carpenter's like sneaking in to put like fresh treats, and he's just upset every time you haven't found the old treats. He's like, I'm just burning money on all these.
He replaces him every month till someone buys the new house.
Yeah.
That's like some Parasite shit. I feel
Yeah.
like.
Parasite. Have you watched Barbarian?
No.
Yes, I just saw it like 2 days ago.
Oh, I love that movie. Oof.
I was like, yo, you should watch it,
Yeah.
Diana.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
definitely
you
check
would love
out.
it. You would love it.
Yeah.
All right,
It
Vanessa,
went
you got
where I
another
didn't
tweet?
think it was gonna go, but it was good. Yeah. So for my last tweet, I actually have a 2-part tweet.
Okay.
Oh.
So
Didn't know I did that.
I make things happen.
Yeah.
All right. So back in 2016, you said the best part of dancing to no music is that no one can tell you how offbeat you really are. And then next year, my dancing has been described as not giving a fuck. It was supposed to be a compliment.
Okay.
So Diana,
Yes.
what happened?
Now, it's very apparent, Diana, that at least once a year you tear up a rug. And I don't mean that as like a euphemism, like we were using cats
Oh my
earlier.
God.
I mean like you dance. You get out there and dance. Or is this like at a wedding?
I honestly don't know.
I mean, it's clear it happens like once a year. You put yourself in the situation, and then you're like tweeting about it, like, "Oh man,
that hurt because I was also thinking about making a dance reel about dancing, and I'm like, I guess it is once a year thing where I just have the urge to just bust a move. And
like,
every time people tell me you can't dance, but it's so much fun. So
don't let them hold you back. Don't let them stomp your shine.
Don't let them stomp your shine.
I will admit, I feel like I used to be a decent dancer, and now I just have like one bad hip that gets bad if I travel too much. So it sucks because like I will go through like a crazy travel day and like do a show, and then at night I'll be like out at a club with just local people. Like, come on, get up and dance. And I'm like, no, you're gonna make fun of me because it's such a thing to be like a big white dude who can't dance. And like that is true, but like also I'm like, my hip hurts though, and that's why. So I don't want to set myself up to fail. I want to just sit there and be like, no dancing for anyone tonight. Maybe tomorrow. I'm gonna do some yoga with Adrian first.
I feel you. My knees ain't what they used to be.
Yeah. You can only drop it so low or you might get stuck, right?
Yeah.
Man, looking at these dances these kids are doing, I'm like, can't do that one no more.
No, I try to play Just Dance. My friend has a Wii, and so we go over and we'll play Just Dance. And like every time I play, I don't even notice I'm doing it, but I have the dumbest smile on my face. Like It just naturally comes out.
That's beautiful.
But the thing is, according to Just Dance, even I cannot hit the beat. It's always telling me it's like bad. But so I like to play on YouTube where I can just follow someone getting perfects. But I feel like
Gotcha.
there's a lot of liberation in just like kind of dancing and like just feeling, I don't know. Like I think I've always like I'm a perfectionist, and so I think the thing with dance that I enjoy is that like it's a place where I can be bad because so many people are bad at it, and I
Yeah.
think
That's
it's
true.
okay.
No,
But
yeah,
it's
that's
very
great.
liberating to have that. But I think it's also so funny that once a year it just does come up.
I'm going to take a wild guess here, Diana, and I'm totally ready to be incorrect about this. But you strike me as the type of person who, like, when you're dancing, you said you're like always have like a big smile on your face. You seem like you would also like, you'd get that tongue out a little bit too, like like when you're dancing. Are you a tongue out dancer?
I mean, it has happened, especially like the hard ones, because it's like I try to put like my all into it. And
Uh
I
huh.
also did not know the whole like smiling thing, like until other people told me, and they're like, you look really happy, but also like your score is really bad.
I think the happiness is what counts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't not letting people stop my shine.
Don't let them stomp your shine. Hashtag don't let them stomp your
I
shine.
think that should be the name of the episode.
Yeah. I'm going to make that. So my final tweet, Diana, is you said, I read that the best way to establish a habit is to reward yourself after the action. My goal is to start waking up at 5 a.m. So I've been rewarding myself by snoozing for 3 hours, which I feel that's so hard, dude. Like for a while, I set this goal of like I'm perennially bad at social media, and everybody was like, oh, if you just wake up at like 7 a.m and post a video every single day, you'll get followers. And it totally works. It's just that like that's not sustainable because I stay up to like 4 or 5 a.m and then I'm waking up at like 7 to like quickly post these videos, and then I just have this like immense sense of like accomplishment that's totally unearned. So then I'll just sleep till like 2 in the afternoon and just wake up like, wow, I'm not getting anything done today. Amazing.
That's 100% what was happening. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's because I really took a deep dive in like productivity, and that was one of the things. It's just always like reward yourself after the action, and it's like, okay, but you guys all forget that the reward is like the opposite of what the action was.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
funny. I was talking to it. I don't mean to interrupt, but I was like just talking to a therapist about that because she was like, we were talking about how to like not do that and how to be better in terms of like just like base get shit done and be productive or whatever, and not like kind of do that burnout. Which that's the funny thing is like, well, everything I use to like uh reward myself is also very detrimental to like my productivity and like have, you know what I mean, like I'll get something done and be like, all right, time to smoke 3 blunts. It's like, what am I doing after that? Just that's the end of my day. And like, it's like in the afternoon and I'm like, I'm done tapping out.
What did what did your therapist say? Did they
Oh,
have any
she did not have an
suggestions?
answer, by the way. Yeah, that's what I'm realizing about therapy is like all these people have been so condescending about therapy my whole life. Like, dude, just go to fit. And like, I'm seeing a therapist and, I intellectualize everything. So it's like, sometimes they'll have these like little tips and tricks that do not work for me. And I explain why they don't work. And it's just, I can tell. I mean, I do therapy over BetterHelp, so I'm sure that I could find somebody better, but I'm totally happy with the person I have. It's just like, she's like, yeah, that's an interesting thing to think about. I guess we need to think of like what a reward would be for you. Cause it's like, I don't know. I like to drink and smoke weed and take naps. And what else,
Dude, I feel that so hard.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. No, I think that's all 6 of our tweets. Thank you guys so much for checking out this episode of Funny Sad with myself, Vanessa, and Deanna. Thank you so much for doing it, Diana. We appreciate having you on. Is there anything you want to plug while we have you here?
Thanks for having me on. Everything on my socials is D Hong Comedy. Check it out. I also make some of these tweets in movie real form. So you not the cat one, but you'll see some other ones.
And where's the best way to see that? Instagram, YouTube?
Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. I'm trying to hang out with the young kids, but I think
There
they can
you
all tell
go.
that I'm old. But still trying.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I mean, the dancing is probably how they can tell. I'm just saying.